Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Collective Stream YouTube channel. Hope you guys are all doing very well this week. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen the shopping video that I've done showcasing the Smiling Plaza in Hong Kong, I highly recommend you guys will go check it out. Yeah, it was a pretty fun day, and then I actually opened all of the loose packs, the Battle Styles, the Chilling Rain, and the Astro Radiance, and I got absolutely mushed. So I didn't even hit anything. Let's see if I have any cards to showcase very quickly. Ripped about like 20-30 packs, and these are like some of the hits that I got. So just very quickly, Victini, and then some of these art rares, some Sword and Shield. It's always nice to see them, like a Farlinks, a Rug Trio, Paldean Students. Yeah, so these are all the hits that I got, but nothing much to write home about. So not gradable either, because the centering have some issues. So I won't be buying loose packs too often now. Put it that way. Yeah. Lots of exciting things happening in the market, and we are still. Oh, right now the Scarlet and Violet boxes are still going crazy. I'm not giving out the Obsidian Flame, but if you guys want to subscribe to the channel, we are about to hit 2,000 subscribers, and we will be spinning for this. This has been sitting here for a while now on my desk. The Paldea Evolve booster box. So once we have 100 subs to go before we spin for 2,000. So good luck for all the viewers, and if you guys your names are not on the list, just send me an email and then I'll manually add you to the Google sheet. Yeah, but these boxes are, this is 500, this is like 350 now, and it's just crazy seeing the increase from that I have observed when it was 1,000, when the channel was 1,000 subscribers to 2,000 subscribers. These things have like skyrocketed. The entire video today will be talking about Van Gogh Pikachus. But before I begin and tell you about my view on the Van Gogh Pikachus, I do want to bring awareness to the first edition base set, because that's where all we started from. And today I got one thing that I want to showcase is actually the first waifu in the hobby, and which is Last. So this is the PSA 9 Last, and I wanted to show how the cards have evolved. Maybe I'll put it on side by side on how the waifu cards look now, and then the original waifu from the first edition base set. So just the girl trainer takes up much less of the card, just a little portion, and then yeah, this is always cool to see how it looks. Yeah, I don't know if all the details will be caught, so hopefully it's in focus, and then you guys can take a look. Also picked up some other first edition base set and some of these cards. Just very quickly, every video I will talk a little bit about first edition base set before I jump into the meat and potatoes of the video. Yeah, so if you guys like this concept, let me know. Yeah, so I really like the Staryu and Starmie, and when I grew up, I always thought, you know, Starmie got snubbed in the hobby, because look at Staryu is a common card, right? But then you look at Starmie. Normally, when you evolve one stage, it becomes a rare, but then Starmie still maintained the common denominator, still a common rank card. So I thought, like, back then it was really strange as a kid looking at these two. Yeah, and when I was a kid, I didn't have a lot of cards, so I will spend like days and months just looking at the cards that I had in my binder, and then so I would just like read all the move sets, and then, you know, just admire all the artwork. Yeah, so then like Starmie have the move to recover, which back then was really cool, because you can remove the damage counters once damage has been dealt to the Pokemon. And then I also felt like these two were really cool concepts back then. Yeah, so today just giving them the flowers for Starmie and Staryu. Yeah, so if you guys like the idea of me showcasing all these older cards, so I have a lot more later on in every episode. I'll talk like 1 or 2 slabs, and then I move on to the main theme of the video. All right, so I got my cheat sheet here. Let's start and talk about the Van Gogh pricing. Yeah, so right now I have it open on eBay, and today the price just changes every day right now for Van Goghs, and then they just go up and up and up. So this card, it was given out for free back then, 2023, in the Amsterdam Van Gogh Museum. People completed a maze in the like a treasure hunt around the museum, and I've been to that museum before. It's beautiful, you know. There's nothing like seeing a Van Gogh or a Van Gogh painting, the sunflower painting, in person, because like when you look at the picture on your monitor, it's very flat, it's a flat image, but when you go to a museum and actually check it out, the painting, all of the oil and all of the, it's like there's multiple layers to it, and then it's just the colors are so vibrant, and just looking at the sunflower makes me pretty happy. But I'm not an art major, but then it's actually I don't know why I'm talking about this, but then when I was in the museum, I think Van Gogh actually had a depression in his life. So then, although he is portraying the beautiful sunflowers, you can actually see, and this is going by memory. Just please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But then Van Gogh, he actually drew some of the sunflowers as they were withering to kind of reflect his mood and his outlook in life. Yeah. So even though sunflower is like, I think I have a sunflower back there actually, sunflora. Yeah. And then back then, looking at the painting in the museum, I read something about even though the sunflowers are supposed to be very vibrant and representing, a positive outlook, actually he portrayed them as like dying. Some of the sunflowers are dying. Yeah. So I thought that just like came into my mind. So yeah, sorry to be going off a tangent. But now we're going back to the Pikachus, and I bought these a while ago, so I do have a bit of these Van Gogh Pikachus in my collection. I also want to take this video to address the concept, or some people, some of the keyboard warriors will be saying that, oh, this guy is a scalper, or I hate scalping in this hobby. All right, so let me talk to you and address about this. Like, when you collect Pokemon, you can either treat it as your personal collection, which this is my personal collection, but you can also treat it as an investment. So whenever I have these conversations over drinks with my friends, so I always get a little bit riled up when I'm talking about these keyboard warriors that say like, oh, this is a kid's hobby. Now you guys are driving everybody out of the hobby. Nobody can buy anything at MSRP anymore. Yeah. Well, first of all, I don't buy things at MSRP because you cannot get them like in Hong Kong at MSRP. There's always going to be a little bit of markup. And the latest Japanese promo boxes are a great example because their MSRP from Japanese Pokemon is 2,000 yen. Nobody can get them, like non-Japanese locals. Okay, sure, if you have an SMS number and then you can actually win the lottery, then you can purchase it at 2,000 yen. But I'm not paying 2,000 yen, I'm paying like 30,000 yen now if I want to buy a Hiroshima promo box. So for me, first of all, buying these products, I'm not getting them at a low price at all. I'm just paying market price just like everybody else. But what is distinctive in my purchase strategy is I treat these as investment. And I started buying these when they were around $300 per pop in PSA 10. And for a while, they were sitting, it actually dipped to $150 for PSA 10 because everybody was shitting on it, saying that, yeah, this is a free promo card. You can get them with a purchase of $20 on Pokemon Center back then for a short while until they ran out of stock. And then they were, the raw copies were like, it dropped to $80 to $100, right? So you had time and you had the opportunity to buy these cards at a very, very low price relative to what it is at now. But then you always have like these more current observers that only takes a snapshot of the situation and be like, oh, these guys are like keeping the hobby away from children, blah 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 blah. But then what's funny is that if they were giving, I am completely convinced that if given the opportunity to buy these cards or buy whatever products, they will step over the children to also, just like right lately, there's so many like bad things going on, like, with the CEO stealing baseball from kids, or like taking the hat away from kids or whatever. Like I don't want to endorse or portray that kind of behavior because I'm not a scalper. At the end of the day, I'm more like a Pokemon observer. I observe the hobby and then I just talk about it and then I get enjoyment out of that. And also, I am heavily invested into the hobby because nowadays when I rip cards, I always get screwed. When I rip cards, this is what I get. Like I don't really get an enjoyment from getting an off-center Victini VMAX anymore. But what I get enjoyment is I like to buy products that using my vision and my proof of concept. I like to buy PSA slabs at around $70 to $80 now. That's kind of like my game. I like to buy PSA 10 slabs for below $100, and then in 6 months and in 12 months, I take a look and then I see how they do in the future. And if you guys have bought the chase cards from Sword and Shield, they have gone up tremendously. But then I only have one copy of each. So I wish I loaded up like I did with Van Gogh. Van Gogh is actually the first card where I really started to take investing in slabs seriously, and I bought multiple copies. Because whenever you only have one version of the slab, that's not investing. That's just collecting. And when you sell the slab, you got nothing left. You sell if I sell the Lugia, then I don't have any Lugia anymore. If I sell the Charizard, then I'm left with this in my personal collection. If I sell the Blaziken, the Fire Chicken, I have nothing. If I sell this for 1G, then I don't have this. Yeah, so like, okay, yeah, I sold 4 of my, my Grails already. So and I did do that because I have multiple Rayquaza VMAX and I sold one. Now I'm only left with this one. Yeah, so for the haters that might hate on you, or maybe even your colleagues, they will just be kind of like doubting you. You're like, oh, Chris, oh, Daniel, I don't know, Mark, Tim, why are you buying cardboards? Like, this is why are you like so invested? Why are you like consuming this? Why are you watching YouTube videos of it during lunchtime? And then why, like, your wife might be asking you, oh, why are you like pouring so much savings into Pokemon cards? Well, these Van Gogh Pikachu, it's a very, very good reminder of how insane the hobby is right now. Like, and if you ask me, am I gonna sell any of these? No, because I think that these full art Pikachu is similar to the Poncho Pikachus that I have in the back. Pikachus are nearing $10,000 for even like a Magikarp or a Gyarados Poncho, right? So this is almost population 50,000. It's not gonna reach $10,000 per slab anytime soon. I highly doubt that, just because of the scarcity discrepancy between Poncho Pikachus and Van Gogh Pikachu. But what I am saying is that there's no modern cards in the hobby right now that is as hyped up and performing as well as the Van Gogh Pikachu this year, bar none. This is the best product that you can invest in the hobby right now. And if some people in the comments might ask me, hey Ken, are these cards gonna hit like $4,000, $5,000 in the future? I very well believe that they still have upside potential. This can catch up to the Prismatic Evolutions Sunbreon. This might catch up to the VMAX Umbreon from Sword and Shield Evolving Skies. And the reason I say that is not because I hold a lot of these. I really don't care about like how much, because I'm not planning to sell them anytime soon. And then some people will be like, oh, Ken, you're just like BSing, you're gonna offload these or you're gonna flip. I cannot sell products in Hong Kong right now. Let me reiterate on that. Sorry, the word. Yeah, because right now there are tariffs in place and then there's huge selling fees on eBay. So if I move this, I have to pay 18% selling fees on eBay, and then there is like a 35% tariff for American buyers. So Americans, buyers, shoppers, they will not buy this because it costs them way too much money to import them. So for me, I'm like, okay, if I cannot sell them, I'll just hold on to them and just let them sit and simmer in my personal collection, right? And in hindsight, that is the best #1 investing strategy you can do right now in the hobby. If you bought these were $200 in Collecticon. These Lugia 2 years ago, they were $200, $250, $280. You can, every vendor's table, they had the Lugia. This one, they were $600. This Tyranitar, everybody hated battle styles, and then they even early in January this year, I think this card was like $380 to $400, and then now if you look at the market, they're $1,000 now on eBay. Yeah, so but then again, it's a blessing in disguise with the tariff situation, because if I had free trade right now, I could have sold all of these and they'll be gone, and then I'll regret it. Just like right now, all my friends that are vending, they will come back to me and say, Ken, I regret so much for selling my Sun and Moon slab. I regret so much for selling my Dragonite, because then afterwards they need to go back on eBay and then they gotta buy it again. So the #1 tip that I have in the hobby right now is just hold on to them and don't sell it. If you don't need the money for whatever reason, I always advocate this idea. If you sell a slab or sell your products, what are you using the money for? And are you investing it back into another product that will perform even better? Because if you don't have a clear idea on what you're doing with your revenue and for your profit, you're just gonna blow it away on I don't know, like whatever your life spending or expenses are. If you're just gonna blow it away, you might be better off just sitting on these products, right? See what else I want to talk about. So I addressed the scalper argument. This is not scalping. This is Pokemon investment. And another really, really good point that I want to make is, if you truly believe in the hobby, and you can tell this to your coworker that are doubters, right? They will doubt you as like, well, why are you pouring so much money? I don't get it. If they don't get it, you can, and if you like them, you can talk to them a little bit about and try to instill some knowledge on alternate class assets and collectibles for your colleagues that are doubters, or they'll just kind of be laughing at you. It's like, the so and so, this guy is like, gossiping behind your back, but oh, this guy is dropping money on cardboards, yeah, blah blah blah. Yeah, but if you guys like them, talk to them. Treat these as a share of stock, like a share of, I don't know, Berkshire Hathaway. That's a very expensive stock, yeah, but $1,000. What can I talk about? Treat it as like Microsoft, like 500 something, or treat it as, I'm trying to think of stocks that's like around $1,000 or $2,000 a share right now, and it escapes me. I can't think of a share right now, but think of these. If you're an investor, these are shares, right? Ignore all the scalpers and the haters message to you. They're like, oh, you are ruining the hobby. I don't think so, because we are not the driving force that goes to Costco and moves stuff in pellet form and then flip it for like $20, $30. We are not doing that. This channel is investment. Or this is investment and enjoying the art. Yeah, we have started from the very bottom. We started from the beginning. Like this is scalpers. They don't hold these kind of stuff. Yeah, so I'm trying to just talk about this. Treat it as shares. If you believe in Tesla, right? Are you going to just buy, oh, I'm going to buy 9 shares of Tesla, and then are people going to be like, oh, this guy is scalping and flipping Tesla shares, shame on you? They won't do that, right? If you believe in Oracle, if you believe in Facebook, Meta, Alphabet, you're going to buy 50 shares, you're going to buy 100 shares, right? These are assets and investment, right? So don't give me the BS saying that, oh, you guys are, you guys are driving the price up. You cannot manipulate. This is like, yeah, this is like, I just find it very fascinating. So, and that's why I might be opening a can of worms talking about this topic, but I also think that it is a good discussion point. Whenever people say like Pokemon investors are inherently bad, I really don't think so, because I have not sold anything for the last 2 years, and I've just been observing the hobby, and it is a lot of fun. So I'm gonna kind of go full circle back to the video and talk about why I think the hobby is gonna be really, really good in the 30th anniversary. And there's still a lot of stuff that can bring a lot of joy for even kids. The kids, they can still. The other day, I pulled this Victini card, and I love this card so much. This jumbo card brings me so much joy. I wish I can grade it, because I think it's like a PSA 10. I think it has potential for a PSA 10, but it won't sell really good. So the collecting side of me, the collecting Ken, is loving the artwork and loving the hollow foil. It's so beautiful, it brings me so much joy. But then the investing Ken, that side of my brain is telling, do not grade this, because you cannot like pass it on to the next person and profit. But who knows? Yeah, maybe the hobby is not about profit. At the end of the day, the hobby is about having fun, talking to friends about what cards do they like, whether they like raws, whether they like old cards, whether they even like the ETB promos. Just have fun collecting, right? And the price is secondary. If you are relying on this to do it full time, it is viable. But whenever in my 36 years living on this earth, whenever you have a passion and then you convert it into a job, you gotta be willing to sacrifice your love for whatever you do. If you are a photographer, I love taking pictures. I love taking photography, learning about composition, framing. The ISO, shutter speed. I love the usage of light in photos, right? But if you tell me to go become a photographer or freelance wedding photographer, that's gonna suck the entire joy very quickly, because I'll be scrambling to find business. I have to do like marketing. I need to be my own accountant. I gotta be be an entrepreneur. It takes away the purity of being my love for photography. Yeah. So, but if you ask me if I have to do it, will I do it? Yeah. If I need to put food on the table, I'll be a photographer. I'll drive a truck. I'll drive a taxi. I'll drive a bus. I'll drive whatever. You gotta do whatever you want to do, right? But collecting within your means will give you a lot of joy. So I should stop like maybe bring this up, because some people are gonna say like, I'll stop flexing, blah 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 blah. Okay, so let's talk about this. Let's use something like lower value then. If you turn Pokemon into your full-time business gig, very quickly you're gonna lose some love for the hobby. And I've been there, and I've done that. I've tried to turn it into a business, and whenever you do that, you're gonna be willing to make your sacrifice. So to wrap up the video, I think just consume the hobby as you wish, but at the end of the day, be happy with all the investment and collecting decisions that you make, and don't do it to the point where you are loading up your credit card, hitting the max limit every month because of FOMO and buying in a $2,700 PSA 10 Van Gogh Pikachu. If that is going to really stretch your budget very thin, do not do that, because it's going to ruin your mental health. But then if you find enjoyment in buying these when they were $150, $300, and nobody wanted them, and they were sitting on eBay, buy it now for $250, for $300, for 2 to 3 months, for an entire quarter, and then you had the intuition to buy them and load up on them, then now you are reaping the profit. And now congratulations, you have done very well and seen one of the most meteoric rise on Pokemon hobby in the form of a single slab in recent memory, in recent history. Yeah, so this is going to be a very iconic and historic card in moving forward. If you cannot get the PSA 10, another very good copy is get the version with the cellophane, and that one is 1/3 or half the price of a normal PSA 10 slab. I don't know why. I know why, but I'm not going to explain too much in this video. I know why, and if you kind of analyze it yourself, you will know why as well. But another play is buy that, check out the front and the back. Oh, actually, I shouldn't say that, because you cannot check the back, because there will be a code card that blocks the rear condition. But there might be a play. You're rolling the dice here. You pay $1,200. You buy that. You spend $20 to grade it with PSA 10. And then you hope that it'll come back as a PSA 10. Then your cost was $1,200, and then potentially double. And I guarantee you, some of the scalper, or let's not call them scalper. I'm not. They're not scalper at all. Some of the more savvy investor are doing that as we speak. So yeah, that's the end of the video for today. I'll chop it up here. If you like the content, if you agree with me, and this hobby is just kind of like out of control right now. It's absolutely wild. Let me know in the comment section if your friends and your colleagues and your family members are very intrigued with the hobby right now and kind of asking you guys for advice, or like, just trying to learn more, because I'm getting so many messages now regarding the hobby, and I really appreciate the support. Yeah, so it's been a lot of fun, and I'll try to make another video soon. But for now, the hobby is in a frenzy, and yeah, just strap in for better or for worse. We're in for a wild ride in the next 12 months. See you in the next one. Bye bye.